It is morning in the Temple of the Ascended Dragon. All of you have had a wonderful long rest. Some of you feeling a bit more rejuvenated due to some spiritual connection that you had. And now, with the dawn fully enveloping its light inside the different windows of your respective rooms, the common area where the tree where Britt and Nick, and Luna, well, I should call you by your characters, where Luna and Andi, as well as Jess and there's Arlin, doing that thing where it's like, you're your people. Arlin, marrying Finn and Oaxaca. Eventually you all convene at that room. If there's anything that you'd like to do beforehand?
Oaxaca would have woken up like earlier before everybody else and just in the quiet of the temple, like started doing general like push-ups, just wake up stuff, and then stretches, just making sure nobody's seeing him and quiet enough not to wake up Andi. And he also gets up again and just inspects both guns, just checks to see if they're oiled properly, and then he loads them for the day, makes sure they're nice and set and ready. And then he just waits outside for everybody else fully dressed, like leaning up against a wall.
Maring, you said you had...
Maring is also going to wake up before everyone else to do the same thing. She's going to do her squats rather than... she does a couple push-ups, but more squats. Is there a circular-ish area somewhere in this courtyard where she could run laps as well?
There is a... actually, I will let our resident monk, Luna, let you know.
So yeah, there is. It's actually around where Luna was going to be that morning. It's next to the gardens. Past the gardens, there's a bit of a. It starts off as like a hiking trail, but then it kind of curves and comes back around. So it's definitely a runnable trail.
So Maring will definitely get up pretty early, kind of like around 5 o'clock, and do all that. And if she sees Oaxaca doing push-ups outside of his room, she's going to definitely be like, hey, morning.
Morning.
See, push-ups, nice. I was going to do some too. You mind? You mind? You don't mind. You don't mind. And she's going to just kind of place herself, not super close to you, but kind of like head to head, and just how'd you sleep?
Slept. That's the important thing.
You're right. Sleep's really important. Real important. Oh, you're going really low. That's awesome. It's awesome. I mean, get buffer, and she'll just mildly annoy you, but not too much.
Oh, you, Judd, from this angle, I guess since you're up close, he's not wearing the cloak right now, so you see the feathers folded up against the arms, but you also see like different colorations in the feathers that indicate like where new feathers have grown in due to blade strikes and piercing wounds. Like he looks like upper body in some spaces is pretty scarred. And after doing his final set and just seeing like her rapidly like looking at me and then looking away, I just look at her and I go, "You got a question or?"
And she'll like pull up to a plank, just kind of look, and then the ear flops in her eye. Yeah. And she'll kind of like sit on her butt a little bit, cross-legged, and she goes, "Your form is really good. You want to teach me a little bit? Because I'm a little leg heavy, you know, rabbit. But you know, if you want to, like, I'm not too buff on it. If you could teach me like that, like your shoulders, so like place so." And she just like wants to ask about your push-up form. It doesn't seem fazed by any of the scarring or anything like that.
Well, it just comes from years of making sure I'm ready for anything that happens, you know?
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, I've seen you fight. I don't think you really need to worry about upper strength.
You would think, but I mean, this longbow is not light, man. Let me tell you. And flipping in the air with that thing, that weight distribution, whew,
And
it's a doozy.
Actually, you mentioned you were from Talia, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Last time I went through there, I kind of left town with a little bit of a mess. How are things still going?
A mess. Terratalia is the city of messes, so you're going to have to be a little bit more descriptive than that.
Well, sheriffs hired me back then to take down a local family, and things got kind of messy.
Wait, are you talking about the Weskowitzes?
No, not them.
Okay, that was wild, man. They were strewn across the city, body parts.
I heard about that, but that wasn't me. They're a family of turtles. Three knucklehead sons and their father.
DM, would Maring know of this?
Probably not.
Okay, cool. She just kind of.
Considering what I know Michael is trying to do.
I sent it to you.
As funny as it is. No, I know.
It's not supposed to be funny.
I know. It's just coincidental. It's a good thing you didn't decide that they were like teenagers or mutants.
No. It's just turtles.
Yes, I know. I would say that Maring, in reference to what Oaxaca is talking about, there was word of a renegade group of turtles that were raising hell, and it's kind of hard to determine when hell is raised a little bit more another time than others in your city. So this could have been something that passed by in the news. But for anyone who's visiting at the time, it seems like the most important event.
No. I mean, I feel like I heard something like that, but to be honest with you,
just happens every other day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got that feeling. The father of that family in particular, he nasty old bugger, but he's in jail, so hopefully he's not doing anything negative.
Well, I don't know too much about it, and to be honest, and I kind of know a lot of people around, So if he was making a real mess, I would know about it.
I figured.
How about both of you make a athletics check for me?
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see who gets tired first.
Ooh.
I rolled. Let me pull up my sheet because I have to do math. Athletics?
Yes.
That is a 19. I rolled a 17.
Mine is a 12, so I get tired first.
Yes, you do. And the sweat on your fur kind of doesn't really help you get a good grip on the stone floor. And there's a little bit of a trip up while you're trying to get that last one in.
Whoa, I'm stuck. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And while you two are trying to unstretch that little mishap, Luna, what is going on in your room at this point?
Well, so beforehand, Luna was, I guess, woke up around dawn, put on their sort of just like burlap cloak, very, very simple, one cloak, sandals, and they go out very early and they start to sort of prune around the plants, start weeding a little bit, just really taking in all this healing energy that's still sort of coursing through their body, and was able to help them sleep for the first time in God knows how long, gods know how long. And so they're just sort of kneeling and pruning at this point, and sort of, I guess since it's getting later in the morning, they're starting to wrap up, and they're going to be going inside to where everyone else is headed.
Make a perception check for me, please.
It's a 13.
As you're kind of doing your morning routine that you're used to, you do pass by a couple of other of the older monks. You can overhear a little bit of the conversation. One of them is talking to another about how Brother Julius, who is usually a bit of a kind of a consigliere of sorts, a communication position between the city governments and the theocracy that's in the Westlands. You overhear them talking about how they have not really written back in a few weeks since leaving to speak with Pontifex Magnus of the Church of the Ancients. And a small bit of growing concern, but they do also know that caravans and transports have been a bit backed up in the past month or so because of a bit of a increase in migration from the Westland territories over to the Sylvan Empire. Doesn't seem like there's much worry in their voice, but it is just kind of a thing of, I haven't heard from our brother in quite some time.
Are they? Can I tell if they're trying to like play it down, or if they're trying
like
to?
It's just a bit of a candid conversation that you happen to catch.
Okay. So with that, I think that's what's gonna signal Luna to pack up, and they're gonna head back inside now.
Arlin. How does the morning go for Mademoiselle Arlin?
I don't know.
She would have woken up early to do her meditations.
A lot of early risers.
Yeah. That works for us. Yeah, she would have woken up early to do her meditations. And from there, I assume, start to hear the temple or what have you. It's a temple, yes, Nick? Okay. I just want to make sure I'm calling it the right thing. Yeah, so she'd hear the temple sort of start to wake up as well, and I imagine she's hearing Maring and them outside, or maybe not, depending how far away they are from the sleeping quarters. Yeah, so would have started to probably make her way out into just general quarters and such, and probably try to make her way to an outdoor courtyard of some form.
There are plenty of gardens, a lot of roaming gardens used for mainly walking meditations and discussions, scholarly discussions of sorts. Nothing too out of the ordinary, but actually quite pleasant, as it's a quiet surrounding that you're more familiar with, despite the amount of people that are wandering through.
Yeah. Okay,
Go ahead.
No. I was just going to say, yeah, that's more to her taste, more of what she would be currently doing.
You do see, as you're going through kind of one open area to this, in this temple, a lot of the open area stuff is kind of like on a second floor, hanging rooftop garden type of situation. So to go from one to one is, there are, the tower tops where the areas are. They're all very circular. And taking a step down, across from one path to another. It's almost pentagon shaped. And as you're passing by one to one, you do come across a particular hall that just has a mural of names of previous members of the order, and on the bottom it has essentially, these are in memoriams, and you see hundreds and hundreds of names, all walks of life, all different types of races from all corners of Corina. Some even from Vulcania in the northwest, the more vicious types of lands, and a few from the Wandering Isles to the east. And it kind of is this. You realize like this particular order is an incredibly accepting place for all walks of life, even those who some within even the Sylvan Empire may deem as a bit of a lower class type. So that's and with your background being as you are one to know the names of a lot of people, but having never met them in their lifetime, this is a familiar setting for you. Eventually, you do find you will get back to the common area.
Are the names on the mural or memoriam, are they well kept?
Make a perception check.
That is 17.
Yeah, you do see as you kind of take a close look, they are these small little stone nameplates that are carefully chiseled in common. They're the name of the monk, and then in their native language is their name just below it.
Okay, cool.
Finn.
So I kind of wake up along with the with light streaming in, seeing as how I slept kind of propped up against just underneath a window, looking out at the end of the hall. As I wake up, I glance out the window just to take in at least a little bit of the surroundings overall. Once I feel like I start hearing some noise from the temple behind me, the just active chatter overall, I'll throw back on my full regalia and just make my way back out towards the main foyer area where we first headed in, and kind of just post up right along the door, not entirely feeling 100% comfortable with the surroundings. Being away from the Westlands, he kind of feels like a fish out of water. Even though he's traveled out a number of times, he's not used to being in these larger public areas or temples. Certainly not away from other members of the Hallowed for sure. But it's kind of a calming effect as well. But definitely on edge slightly and not wanting to get too comfortable. I'm going to hang around near the main door and the main foyer.
There is another elder monk that is passing by, just reading a book, and can kind of notice you're a little bit tense at the moment. So. They are a half-elf. Their hood is down of their normal garb. And just probably, since half-elves have a relatively human age, just a little bit more extended, they're about like 75, 76, and they see you. Hello, son. Do you sleep well?
Just about as well as I always do.
You know, when I find myself in a position where the night tends to affect me more than I care, I love to read a good book, to really distract myself. Tell me, have you ever read this one? And he hands you a copy, which is basically it's the Draconomicon, which is a book all about the many history and lores about dragons, both known and possibly ancient and mythical. I have been studying this book for nigh on my whole life, it feels like. And what I have discovered is that as unique creatures as we are, these beings that many have referred to as beasts can hold the most simplistic power within themselves, despite an appearance that others may find either unappealing, unsettling, or perhaps even not to their liking because they know of what they can do. I will tell you this. Within each unique creature that I discover, and that even I encountered among these many halls, what truly makes the person and can truly help that person be who they want to be is by not denying themselves their truth. Take that for what you will, but I rest easier knowing that my truth is that I know only as much as I'm willing to learn. And I am willing to learn quite a lot nowadays.
Well, if there's one thing that I've learned, it's the truth isn't always necessarily what it seems either.
That is unfortunately true for most. However, I feel that amongst all of us and amongst the people that I saw you come in with, you'll find that all the truths that we discover are only as truthful by the person who believes it. Some say that I speak too much in riddles. I say life lessons are more fun when you have to unravel the words. Who wants something boring is just the answer.
Certainly doesn't make things easy, and usually the people that say that they've got the answer are the ones that you can't trust.
Exactly. They're the biggest liars of all. Well, I hope that the rest of the day is quite rewarding to you. And if you'd like to hold on to that, by all means, we have plenty. Just make sure Luna comes back with it. They're kind of forgetful sometimes.
Sure, thank you.
Very well. They peacefully walk away and just bring their hood up, and you find yourself back at the common room eventually. Andy, how was your
Yes.
night?
Well, I stayed up a bit, just kind of thinking, but eventually did fall to sleep. But yeah, I definitely did not rise early. So, yeah, I'm still abed far after everyone else has woken up, I'm sure.
And eventually, the warm light of the room, as the sun rises more, warms you up and wakes you up naturally, and you feel really like it's a comfortable sleep despite it being a very sparse setting. And eventually you find the rest of your party in the common room as well. And in that common area where is the very beautifully golden leaf tree is at the center, you all find yourselves together again.
Oh, hello, everybody. Good morning.
Oh my
Good
god.
morning, Andy.
Why are you up so early?
Oh my
So
god.
early.
It's a before noon. I mean, that is such a wonderful surprise for once.
Oh my god, it's that early? Jeez. I mean,
11:30.
that's it's only 11:30.
It's already 11:30.
Make a deception
Yeah.
check, Luna. See how well you can use someone.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, Andy, they've pulled this one on you before.
Yeah, I know. What? Don't talk to me too much. I haven't had any coffee or tea or anything. So, first stop, coffee stop.
I'll take some coffee for sure. Squibbles loves coffee. He just
Does he need more caffeine?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Is it on the way to whatever this thing is? And I pull out the ad for the Wayfinders Guild.
There are basically what you all are aware of is today is the actual festival day. This is the day where all the booths will be up, all the activities will be available. There are different areas where senior members of the guild who are called envoys are available for discussions, and they are essentially, this is like a convention. There are panels, there are meetups, there are activities, and there's plenty of stuff for sale. And it is almost citywide. So you have a lot of the ports and the central that lead, the areas that lead into the center of the city towards the guild hall available as the festival area. And if anyone would like to do a particular activity, I will let you know what you'll need to roll and where you'll end up. But if you're looking just for some morning food and beverage, the Fish and Flask is actually open for a special morning hour, and you can get some coffee and some breads and breakfast meats.
Let's go see Eldon.
Yes, that sounds delightful.
You see that?
Was that his name?
Yes, Eldon
Eldon.
Boggs.
Yes.
Well, that's what Marin said. Yeah.
Eldon is happy to greet you as people are coming in and out. The young people in attendance are kind of all just really excited. There is a very young crowd in the morning that seems like they are either aspiring adventurers or are people who are just adventuring fans. As there is a bit of a cultural reawakening of professional adventuring life, it seems. Eldon is in, after he gleefully hands you, gets you some food, he goes off to talk to a woman in the corner who is dressed very nicely and has like a larger coat that is covering or is trying to discreetly cover some armor plating underneath, or some sort of like professionally styled uniform underneath. And around her neck, though, is a chain of the guild's logo. So it seems as though she may be an envoy.
Do we all see this?
Yeah, it's he doesn't really make it too much of a, discreet thing. He just excuses himself for a moment and then goes off to talk to the guy.
Luna with like their mouth completely full. This is very good.
Oaxaca is just slowly sipping coffee, kind of like at the end of the bar, still eyeing up everyone. Still wondering how we've just met yesterday and we haven't really discussed who we are or what we do, and is just sitting between Andy and Finn as usual. Just
Maring is also stuffing her face and going at Luna, and then like chugging some coffee, and also there's like a little saucer, like a dipping saucer of coffee for Squibbles, and he's just like.
If he does, you see like his wings almost become like hummingbird speed.
See? He needs it. He needs it, then. See?
Luna's gonna take a little piece of their toast and like sneak it over the table to Squibbles, like right next to Squibbles' plate.
And it just like quickly just dives to the piece of toast and.
So, is this the type of thing we were supposed to register for? I just kind of came. Oh, we're just gonna. Okay.
I get up and I go over to the envoy and I go, "Hey, you part of this?" And I hold up the ad.
Hello, you too. Eldon, do you know? Oh, sorry. Right, this is me mate, Oaxaca. Yeah, I remember you. Can't forget a person like you, huh?
Yeah.
I apologize. Sorry. This is my sister Joanna. She is one of the envoys. You go, hi, very good. Yes. And Joanna goes, how can I help you?
So what's the deal with this?
Straight to business. I like that. Well, as you know, the guild is opening up its doors for a new chapter. First time in a decade. We are going to basically not only be hosting auditions, as it were. It's such a strange term. But we are allowing vendors to celebrate their wares and allow some of our senior envoys to discuss the days of old. And there's fun activities for families as well, and some feats of skill. But as far as the guild itself, we will be taking a look at those who decide to sign up as a group to participate in a series of trials, which myself and 3 others will be overseeing. And then we will see if you are qualified to join the ranks.
Does a bounty hunter registration pose a problem?
Not at all. As long as there are no legal background issues that we may have to worry about. If no one is looking for you, you won't have to worry about us.
Oh, the law isn't looking for me. It's the other side that normally is.
That's one of the benefits, at least then, if you end up being a part of the chapters. Those kind of things get swept under the rug, and then any assistance you need, we can help with that.
It's very kind of you to think I need assistance.
More.
No, you allow me to be personal. I mean, I'm not really too into the whole official adventuring kind of idea, so I'm kind of curious. I heard you got a gunsmith, a pretty good repute.
Looked over at her brother. It's all right. Tends to run his mouth a bit sometimes and brags, but he knows what he's doing.
You be at one of these booths?
I am sure he'll be around as long as he doesn't, she looks at it again, cause any unnecessary explosions.
I look at Eldon.
I mean, it was one time, and just, you get a reputation, and all of a sudden the wrong piece of powder cake gets just lost. And but
you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I am not just a pourer of ale and mixer of soon-to-be popular tourist drinks, it seems, but also I am at your service to help you with that weapon of yours.
Well, I may have a bit more things than just the 2 weapons I have. I got a book full of sketches you're probably interested in looking at.
You love me some designs and plans. Sky's the limit in terms of ideas, and then we work down to what's practical, but still like to make it a bit more fun. But I promise, and he looks at Joanna, no accidental explosions on my behalf. Now, if you do go deciding to use that fun little toy of yours, don't worry. I know how destructive something like that can be. I would suggest taking yourself to the shooting range and try not to show off too much, but make a little noise and the right ears may be listening.
Well, my friend, if there's anything I'd like to be, it's discreet.
It's funny because, you're very not discreet. Anyway, let's talk later. I have
place that I'd like to meet potential clients. It's my workshop of sorts. It's a bit out of the ways, but if all goes well with you at the guild today, you may have access to it sooner than I will.
Good note.
You and
I look forward to it.
best of luck to you and your mates too.
Yeah. Mates. See
And,
how it goes then. And I crack my neck and I walk back and I tip my hat to the envoy. And Joanna
respectfully nods.
my tattered and very ripped up mariachi hat, and I walk back over to the bar and I sit down between Andy. Well, I guess we know where to go now.
We do?
As you relay what just happened, your bill comes and he puts it on your tab, which he has now started. He just tells you, go about, enjoy the festival, and gives you a pamphlet. It gives you 2 pamphlets to share amongst you about things that are happening. There are festival games. There are meetings with different envoy members who are having open discussions, kind of Q&As of sorts. There are lots of thrift item areas, and also different foods and ales being displayed, and different magic potions on lots of vendors, all sorts of fun stuff. So as you go out into the city towards the port area where the entrance is, the cleric's entrance, Arlin, is available to you, so you'll be able to go in no problem. You do realize, though, you kind of have to work today.
She's been thinking that the entire time at the bar, listening to them just go, okay, I don't know if I can be a part of a group because I'm supposed to be working. So just like having that thought roll around her head. And if I may, before we would have left the tavern, Arlin would have returned the storage key to Eldon that he let her borrow for a room of sorts. Yeah. So, anyway, okay.
When you get to your little sign-in area, there is a halfling woman who goes by the name of Diamond Hornblower, as she has assisting lead cleric, and she just says, "Hi," and she's looking up. "Oh, hi." I'm here to help you find your position today. You can just call me Dee Dee. You have your badge with you, and she sees that you have the thing that you got yesterday. Fantastic. So, where you'll be positioned, and she looks at Arlin. Okay. It seems that you're going to be nearby the. Oh, you'll be by the fight pits today. So the way it works is, first of all, and she hands you a small pouch. This is your stipend, and this will allow you to whatever you'd like to buy for the day. If you we also have a tent area for food and for rest area for anyone volunteering. You'll be on kind of like an on-off schedule, like watching every 2 fights, and then being able to take some time off, and we'll do a little bit of a rotation for everybody. But please, for the most part, with everyone, since you're a volunteer, you will not be needed directly, so you won't have to go right in. And but God's forbid anything bad happen to any of the dead clerics. We'll need you to kind of be on hand and prepared for any assistance of healing.
Oui, certainement. Of course, I can help. No problem.
Sylvan is such a beautiful language. I need to learn a bit more. I'm very rusty in it, but thank you. And she hands you a small map, and you see that the fighting pit area, while it says the gladiatorial skill check, it's pretty much a fight pit. And it's a bit more like a Globe Theater type setting, where it's a bit in the round, and then it goes in with that sand-covered area. And you see that it's a little rough at the moment. There are currently in there, the match that's going on is a half-orc against a half-giant. The half-giant very much looks like God of War in the most recent one. And he's full beard, just jacked. It's like if I worked out, basically, and was like 7 feet tall and gray-skinned. And you hear him announced as Tank Tolman from Volcania. And he... he is the victorious one against a very bruised and beaten up half-orc, who is just kind of getting a polite smattering of applause. And you see, though, on his, he is wearing, just simple breastplate and gladiator-type gear, but carved in it is the symbol that Joanna was wearing, which is a marking of an envoy. So he is kind of doing a bit of a trial himself. And he looks out and addresses all of you who wonder where I find the temerity and the fight. It comes from within. Within all of these muscles. And you see the half-orc. He's just being like stretched out. They come over to your station. He's just like... I almost had him. Almost had him.
Are we around her, or are we?
We'll get to you guys in a bit.
I think you guys are in a separate entrance, so we would have temporarily parted ways.
Small party splitting. He is bruised. He is black-eyed. He's like, you see the assistant cleric just pop his dislocated shoulder back in.
I assume I'm trying to just sort of introduce myself and get my bearings, and just not really wanting to interrupt their work, but also at the same time it's like, I'm at the right tent, right?
He addresses you by name, and he is a there are two lead clerics. There is a Water Ganassi male, and then there is a elderly elderly elven woman who is kind of just assisting more with the heavy cuts and more lacerated people that come out of the fights. He is just kind of helping with any bruise and patches up, and he barely gives a name. It's just very like, hi, welcome, here's some bandages, and please take care of this. And
we're too busy to actually talk right now. If we can do something.
Anything that looks broken, cantrips welcome. He also hands you a emergency use only scroll. This is basically you recognize that this is definitely like a kind of like like a healing word type spell that, if need be, really like on critical error of just if something messes up, last resort.
Okay.
Please don't lose that. Thank you very much.
Wait, back off, and she puts it like in one of her pouches and buckles it back.
So I'd like you to roll a medicine check. We're going to see how well you are treating some of the fighters for a couple of rounds.
Oh, wow. But, do you want me to roll more than once then?
We're gonna do this. It's just see like an overall type of deal.
17.
17. You're actually assisting very well. It's almost like you get in a routine of instinctually picking up like what they're
ways of healing people are. If they need any ointments, if they need any particular components for their healing spells, you are ready to go. Your height also comes in an advantage because you are able to get to the shelves of supplies and equipment before anybody else. It's just very easy for you. But when they actually when the people who are assisting there also take a minute to really like recognize someone of your like a person like you they've never seen before, really. They all take like you do end up like getting fielded a few questions of like, oh, where are you from? It's like, so are you like, and some people mistake you for different races, and you're kind of like politely just
concentrating on the work, and
right.
It's like, I will make small talk with you, but it's sure focused.
And like 3 fights go by pretty quickly, it seems, and then eventually you are rotated out, and they say to come back about an hour for the next round.
In that time, I will likely, if there's nothing else specifically at the tent, I will likely try to go back to the entrance and make sure that these guys were all able to get in.
Well, you will find that successfully.
Sure.
As we go back a little bit in time to the rest of everybody coming in. It's no problem. Your entry is... you actually find that Eldon had kind of signed in your names for you. Mainly just on the first names that he got and the descriptions of what he was looking for. But because he is a bit of a connection to the guild itself, you guys get a little bit of like, yeah, come on in. A little bit more of like let's take you over to this line, as they give you like each a different sewn badge that has a little bit more of like a, not quite VIP, but definitely not like a day pass. So you guys have options for you. Again, there's the games and activities, there's the thrift items shops, there's the food areas, as well as the different, basically, panels.
Oaxaca just kind of looks around at the general atmosphere of this, and like just seeing so many shiny like people in like buffed armor with holding swords and like chittering about adventuring and stuff, it kind of gives him a little bit of a it irks him in a bit of a way, because he's used to the activities they're talking about being discussed like in bars and over bounty and the dirty aspects of the real life outside world and adventuring, and just to see this kind of polished look on it, it kind of like rubs him the wrong way. But he like looks around and like leans into Andi and goes, well, I'm certainly not at home anymore. Ugh.
So in direct contrast to that, so now that Andi has had her coffee and is more awake, as she's just looking at all the shining armor and all the people and the hustle and bustle of the city, and feeling completely and utterly just comfortable and in her element. And so she looks back at Oaxaca and is like, oh, well, it's not very subtle, is it?
Oh, exactly. That is the word I would describe this. This is the exact opposite of subtlety.
Yeah, you know what else is the exact opposite of subtlety? Also, you tell me, is me. And so I could be your guide for once. How about that?
I just give her a very wiry smile and I go, sure.
Well, actually, you know who could actually be our guide? Luna, you're from Mara, yeah?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, your parents live here, yeah? So, what should we do? Well, everybody else, like, so Luna, their parents live here, right, Luna? Like,
Yes, they did. I grew up here, yes.
Is there some type of like archery competition or game or something like that?
As like a fun game?
Maybe, or just a competition. Anything I can win, something like that.
Eldon mentioned a shooting range.
Festival games.
Awesome. That I want to do that. Also, if there's an eating competition, I'm in there like crazy. And she like hooks Finn by the neck, like hops up and hooks Finn. Come on, are you going to do the eating competition with me? Come on, you got to say it.
You'd see that there is a pie eating contest.
She lets go of Finn's neck and just hops on over.
Oh, that can only end in disaster.
She's so small. Like,
Swallow.
She can put things away. Don't worry.
oh, I'm sure. She seems very confident of her
We
skills.
should note that. Wait.
And roll a D100 for me.
Me?
Oh boy. It's the first one of those for this.
I know. I feel so lucky, or am I?
Andy,
We'll
roll a
see.
D100 for me.
Oh, Andy rolled
Yes.
D100. Oh,
Maring, you
okay.
already chose one, so I'm gonna get
Oh.
to. We're going to pie eating
good,
contest for you.
all right.
Oh.
57.
57. Okay.
Is high or low good
so-
for you?
You well, I have a list of fair activities.
Oh.
So
I'll get one of those ready too.
you see the different like activities and stuff, and one thing that as you're looking at all the different like games activities and where's they're going, one pops up really quickly, and it is a sign for enter the fungeon, and it's like dungeon with fun at the first three
All right.
letters, really like highlighted in a painted bright colors.
Make it really
they're-
clear it's an F and not a G.
Right. It is very like clear, like they were trying to go for the pun with this sign. And you see an elven gentleman with a braided ponytail. Step right up, everyone. Who wants to join this house of wonders and find some treasures? Make sure they don't get trapped. See all that they can see. Fungeon, folks. It's a fun dungeon. Anyone? Come on, bring the kids. Bring
yes!
the kids. Right this way, please. That will be 2 copper to enter. You will. We have our wonderful door of mystery entrance here, and then inside you are going to find puzzles and different areas of mystery and maybe some magic in there too. Don't worry, everything is safe. It's all fun.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do the fungeon?
Yes.
It's so fun to say.
Yes, it's a
Wait,
wow.
am I?
dungeon.
I'm
Oh,
not there,
you.
right?
Thank you,
Oh,
so
wow.
many people. You will be.
I will be. Okay,
Kind of
so
like
I'm not-
before you split off. This is where you see Andy dart off to the fungeon.
Oaxaca just stares at her.
I mean, look at the colors. Look, the color. It's just so. It
I'll
looks
be
so
sick
fun.
of-
Pretty great. It's pretty fucking great.
I'll be sticking with Maring as she had me promise to help her and go to the pie eating contest with her.
So,
Sorry,
Oh.
1 second.
Oh, sure.
Would it look like a big enough area for Arlin to join, or looks pretty small?
it is for it's average height there. You are gonna find that you and probably a lot of other taller races are not gonna have the most.
Must be above this height,
Yeah.
below this height.
Right, there are a lot of
Okay.
ironically, there are a lot of like those kinds of signs that are not just height minimum, but
Yeah.
some height maximum.
I've seen those. It sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of an oversight for some people. They realize they're like, ugh, okay,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
just like we're just aiming for the median crowd here.
Okay, social remain out of that one.
Yeah, so he gladly takes your copper, and I need you to, both of you, first to do a survival roll.
I'm currently picturing Oaxaca like holding their bags out in front.
Oh no, he is definitely waiting at the exit of the ride, and before they go in, he just says, "I'll wait at the exit. I want to check out the shooting range." Like just matter of factly.
Okay, bye.
Boring
See you
boyfriend
later.
at Six Flags.
Bye.